In Cameroon, this concept of environmental issue is, I think, it's a new one, and as it is sweeping across the world, it is also taking part in Cameroon, even though it is not with the same energy that I found it here in the US. Because the mainstream Cameroonian, they depend mostly on agriculture. And so in the past, I may say in the last 20, 30 years, they practiced a lot of shifting cultivation. And in the process, there was a lot of bushfires that had to burn bush to cultivate. But of recent, it's changing because of the awareness that have been created in the society about the negative impacts of these bushfires to the environment, and which might likely affect the cultural aspect which the whole country depends on. A lot of people have been drawn away from that, and the bushfires are not very present again today. And a lot of young Cameroonians also have taken on horticulture to like a way of making income. They depend on that like a way of life, and because of that, they're spreading the news, and it's very present in the whole nation. So this idea of environmental concern, I think it is there in Cameroon. They are trying, but compared to the West and most of the most developed nations, it cannot be with the same energy as we find it here, because first of all, we lack some of these resources. The recycling technology cannot be found everywhere, even though we may have some of these small compost areas to do local recycling. It is not common as we find it all over here in the US, or as I found it here, because it is rare to go in school campuses and you see these recycle bins that are spread all over in Cameroon. But of recent, mostly in the cities and the suburban areas, the awareness is being created.
I have a different take as far as environment is concerned. It's not a chapter of one country or another country, or whether it's Cameroon or Pakistan or Turkey. It's a global phenomenon, it's a global issue. We all have to actually stand against the environmental issues. Whether we are damaging in developing countries by producing or by actually extending the population. On the other hand, in developed countries, is responsible for other aspects too. So we have to actually see developing countries both in one paradigm. So we cannot say only developed countries are actually doing good things as far as the environment is concerned, and only developing countries which are actually producing or making the environment bad. No, it's both-handed. So we all have to, whether it's the United States or whether it's somewhere in Afghanistan, we all have to stand against, because we all are suffering because of the global warming, global issues or environmental issues. If something is happening somewhere, everyone is directly affected by the environment. So we all have to actually stand against, and we do something to actually save our environment, our globe. It's not one country's.
Environment. I think Americans are the first people to worry about the environment. Yeah, you guys are the masters. Because Americans have the biggest footprint. Morocco is a pretty, in contrast to the United States, Morocco is a pretty virgin country. And I do believe that we care more about the environment than our parents and grandparents. Although our grandparents, they didn't feel separate from the environment. The idea that them and the environment is just absurd, because we are the environment. There is no separation. I like the idea of Sammy that we are one people in one earth, because clouds cross borders. Because there's this cloud right here in New York City, for example, and there's this huge industry that's polluting the air, and this cloud just goes across the border, and when it rains in Morocco, for example. And it's on the United States that bring in this pollution. Collapse across borders. Yeah.
One thing I would like to say, in my country and in the world, I don't believe that people are enough aware about the environment. Because if you realize that, technology is growing and developing day by day. In technology, I read an article was saying, if people starts to get away from the nature, it will be disaster. And technology is improving, and we are not caring much to nature. What is happening? Pollution. And we are losing our resources because of this. So what's happening? That's in my country, that's my young people, young generations impression on me. We are using a lot of perfumes. We are throwing in a lot of garbage. And we are not taking care of our cars' exhaust. We are doing all these bad things. Do you think in my grandfather's time they had cars? Yeah, they do. They do have some cars, but it wasn't that much. Right now, look around. Everyone has got a car. Everywhere is automobiles and all things which makes the environment dirty. How we will protect it? What we should do? We should think about it and educate our people. I mean, I don't think we are really caring about our environment. That's my point.
With that.
To hear what you all have to say to this, but can you think of a value in your culture that you think Americans could benefit from if they embrace that value?
In my country, but I guess because we have enough time to meet with each other and to call our friends and our families. I think all of you guys, you don't have enough time because you spend most of your time in the schools or work or whatever you do. You're always busy. You don't have enough time to do anything. So you have friendship, you have friends, but not in my country. You know, in my country, when you have friends, you have to meet with them almost every day. Almost. Or you have to expect a call from your friends and meet with them. And even to make time for your friends. Even if you have a work or even if you are busy while studying or doing anything. So you have to make a time for your friends.
I think you have a problem about or this culture, sorry. The relation between the parents and their children after teenager, like when you get 17 years old, you have to leave the house and stay out of the house and work to study or to get a job or eat or something like that. But in our country, I still live with my parents and my sisters, and maybe after I get married, I still have a relation with my parents. Every day I meet them, or maybe day by day. But is here, maybe I know some people didn't see their parents years, 2 years. Yeah, maybe this is my culture.
Every day I have to call my mother at least 1 hour. If I miss one day, a few days ago, I was have, a lot of classes and midterm exams and a lot of things I have to do, and I didn't call her. She called me and left a message, Amira, I miss you. What happened with you, my baby? I kind of feeling. I don't know. I know a woman. She live here, and I was talking with her about my mother and about how every day I call her and she miss me and how I miss her. And she told me, I hope my daughter call me every day like you do. Because she can't see her daughter, or she didn't see her daughter like 1 year ago. She didn't see her, and I don't know. I think she touched my feeling, and I think our parents have a right to. They take care of us all our life. They always give us support and stand with us in our, I believe that the only one who wants you better than him are your parents. So they have a right on us, so we have to take care of them well.
Yeah, for me, I think there is a sense of disconnection with American community life. And I blame this largely to the social media and cars. It has, to me, the way I look at it, has contributed in kind of separating the Americans. There is that bond, which maybe I think was there, I suppose was there maybe 10, 15 years behind. I don't think it's there again, because in the community in which I live, near the school campus here, again I say community, I don't know whether it's the community of cars or the community of people, because what really makes me feel that it's a community of people because I assume that those cars are being driven by people. So the mall is just maybe a yard away from this community, but it is very rare to go to that mall or going to that mall to see somebody on foot or walking to the mall to buy a needle. You want to buy a needle, you use a car.
There's really nothing to say about this. Freedom of religion. Of course, freedom of religion. I mean, I call it consciousness. Consciousness is something that we're born with. It's this super amazing human capacity that we have consciousness. And consciousness tells you everything. Everything. If you are aware that you are a conscious person, you don't need religion in your life. Thank you.